Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Perfect Listings, Perfect Timing webinar. We're so excited to have you here. So let's get right into it. My name is Babs. I'm the Content Marketing Manager here at Mayan, and I'll just be hosting for today. So a brief intro into our agenda. We're going to cover our speakers and what you are seeing on your screen in case this is your first time attending one of our webinars in On24. And then we're going to dive right into the listing optimization 411. And then we're going to talk a bit more about if your business is Amazon Rufus optimized. And then at the end, we will have a Q&A session. So be sure to send in any questions that you might have so that our speakers can get to those as well. So what you're seeing on your screen here, this is our console. And we have some little fun buttons there for you. So we do have a box where you can meet our speakers and chat with them via email or LinkedIn. You can reach out to them at any time. And then right next to that, you'll find the question box where you can send in your questions. So that's where our speakers will be able to see your questions for our Q&A session at the very end. So be sure to send those in through there. And then right next to that, you'll see our chat where you can chat with us and fellow audience members as well. And then we do have a quick survey there that if you could answer for us, that would be super helpful. And then right at the top, we have two buttons there where one, you can claim your free ad audit with Mayan at any time. If you don't know what a free ad audit is, we will get to that right at the very end, but you can claim that there at any time throughout the webinar. And then you can also book a call with one of our experts so that we can guide you through what Mayan can do for your FBA business as well. And in case you're new here and you're new to Mayan, who is Mayan? So we are the only Amazon inventory and PPC optimization platform that is designed for profitable growth. So our profit-centric technology and strategies are driving unrivaled growth performance for our clients. And we have dedicated account managers who are Amazon and PPC experts. And we are backed by Y Combinator and by MIT. And so now we want to get to know you as well. So please drop into the chat, where are you from, your name, how long you've been selling on Amazon, what you sell, any insights there that can help us get to know you more will be super helpful to us. And now for our speakers. So we have a nice, great lineup today here. We're joined by James Caron, an account manager here at Mayan. He has worked with multiple top 100 Amazon sellers, leveraging his expertise to scale supplement products through effective SEO strategies for over 3 years. And now he helps businesses scale their products here with us at Mayan. And then we also have Jon Tilley here. He's the CEO and co-founder of ZonGuru. And ZonGuru is a technology toolset that helps e-commerce brands and agencies scale on Amazon through data intelligence and automation. So we have two Amazon GOATs MVPs here. And so I'll just hand it off to you guys and let's just get right into it.
Sweet. So I'm going to talk about why SEO matters more than advertising. At Mayan, we've kind of partnered with ZonGuru to leverage a lot of their SEO technology and seen that it helps a lot on the advertising side because it really is the fundamental of selling on Amazon. And so I'm going to lay down the basics of what you should be looking at on Amazon, and Jon can kind of speak to the new technology that they're developing and the really exciting stuff they've got going on over there. So the first thing that I want to talk about is to remember that Amazon is the bottom of the marketing funnel. They already know, your customers already know what they want when they're searching on Amazon. And so I'm going to run through an example here where if you were to search for Super Greens powder and we're looking at these top products, now these all are sponsored products, but the point remains the same in that I want you to see if you can identify what the first product is. Now, the fact that it took you longer than that to realize what it is the problem. When you're looking for a Super Greens product and you imagine yourself ranking #1 and you don't have Super Greens, this one is a green bottle with the plant on the brand name, and you can still even read greens decently well, right? And even this one has greens at the front. But this one here, while there's strawberries and lemons on the side, and maybe if a higher resolution, you could read that it says morning kick here. I have no idea that this is a greens product. I'm going to look right over this. And this is why if your title and your hero don't convince them that it can be the solution they're looking for before the fold on the results page, then your advertising money is just being wasted. As long as without the SEO optimization, you'll always be paying more for every click than the competition on a search term you should be winning on. So when we're looking at what contributes towards Amazon's SEO and what helps you rank higher on pages, it is like 60 to 70% determined by your title and hero image. The other 10 to 15% is making sure your reviews are up to date. 5 to 10% is just checking those boxes for Amazon, making sure you have 6 images, A+ content filled out, full bullets. And then 10 to 15% is the other optimization of SEO, like your backend keywords, your bullets, and your description. So we're talking literally like 80% of your placement is due to SEO optimization, whether via title or backend keywords or bullets, descriptions, hero image. So I'm going to mainly focus on the hero image and title for today. And so when we're looking at hero images and you're trying to decide what you want your hero to look like, it's really simple. Check your niche and continuously test. So some niches on Amazon actually allow for things that aren't allowed on other niches. This is an example that I found where, for cat enclosures outside, even though Amazon's strict guideline is to only have white backgrounds, we see tons of users have green backgrounds and grass shown for their product. And while I don't recommend this, if you see one person doing it, like don't follow them. But if you see the whole category doing it, it is required in order for you to be on top. And so once you recognize some of those things, definitely incorporate them into your heroes and then continuously test from there. You can see that each one of these are testing different things to put at the front, different focuses to bring in, whether it's focus on the animals that you can showcase or focus on the carry bag that it comes with or the specific parts of the product. Even in supplements, we would continuously test the angle of the bottle or whether or not we could have, you used to be able to have, 2 other bottles behind it or some little small garnish. It's really all about pushing the boundary of what you can test, and do use caution. Obviously, if you break Amazon's guidelines, you're going to get taken down. So it's just about finding how you can focus on different things in your hero image. And because it's so important and vital to your SEO, you always want to be sure to continuously test them. So when you're looking to build a product and sell it on Amazon, in order to win on Amazon, you need to build your product around Amazon. And so in order to showcase this, I've got these 2 examples here. One has their search volume, their high search terms for this morning kick product. And they actually do rank for morning sickness. Now, they don't rank well. You're not going to see them. They're probably not spending advertising money on it. But it is taking up some of their indexation, just being called morning kick. And another one might be, or another example is that their morning kick by Chuck Norris, they're actually getting a ton of search volume. Like to be ranked 8,000 in total of all of Amazon is really high, but they're paying a lot of money outside of Amazon to get people to actually search for their product. So you're either going to be paying now they're going to be paying both. They have to pay for the outside money to bring their product in. And then when they want to compete on other searches, they're going to be paying more because they can't convert as well on, green supplement or probiotics and all the other things that they are. So really their highest keyword, if they weren't paying outside money, would be like morning supplement, but they don't even have supplement on the bottle. Contrast to something like this product here that I found just by searching the word supplement. Now, if you think about the search intent behind someone who's just looking for a supplement, they probably don't know exactly what they want. So, as soon as you see this, you can instantly kind of understand what it is. Oh, sea moss, black seed oil. Oh, okay. It's a, multi-supplement, and I'm kind of curious what it is. It's no wonder that they are at the top for just such a generic search term. Their design on their hero end is really smart. They've got 4 massive keywords and niches on their bottle in one shot. That helps you win on those niches to build towards something as generic as supplement, but it also works for the generic word of supplement, and that's why it works really well. So when you're going to build your product, build it around Amazon's SEO rather than, build a great idea and then try to mold it around Amazon, because it just doesn't work as well. You're going to end up paying a lot more. And it's really essential that you continuously iterate as well. If we're looking at this greens example, the search terms from last year compared to this year, if you were building your title, last year you might have led with green powder. That would have been, the smart thing to do, because it's the highest volume, highest search relevancy keyword. And we can see that even this year it's fallen from, greens powder has now fallen all the way down to 19,000 search frequency rank from where it was at 4,000. And green superfood powder, I'm skipping some of the branded terms because we can't really use those in our titles. Green superfood powder is now the highest volume search that isn't branded, whereas before it was down here at 16,000. So this is like what you want to lead with now. And if you, let's say, had it in the middle of your title before, that's fine. But now the highest volume keyword is now being cut off on Amazon search results, and you're going to start losing advertising money because you're trying to convert on a keyword that isn't shown before the fold. So when you forget to continuously iterate on your SEO, ad costs are going to go up due to those slight conversion drops, and you'll slowly lose market share and probably waste a lot of time throwing money trying to optimize your ads better, maybe optimize your pricing better, when really like the root cause of the issue is just not connecting with your audience at the fullest that you really could, by making sure that you're on top of what is being searched for. And that's only after 1 year. As Amazon sellers, we're on here for a long time, and it's really important that you just stay in line with where searches are coming from. So in order to take advantage of SEO to win the holidays, you want to look up, I do this using Amazon's brand analytics in their top search terms, but you can do it even more effectively with other tools like ZonGuru, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But look up the holiday search terms and begin placing them in your product like a month in advance. Start with just the back end of the bullets, because you don't want to ruin the SEO that you have right now. And do it in a natural way as well. And then once the season comes into full swing, you can move it into your title as you start seeing it in other products. And because you put them in your backend and your bullets earlier on, you'll start indexing before other products that are trying to change right now. You'll have more history shown of you showing up for that search, and Amazon will favor you both on an organic sense and from an ads perspective. And then when you combine that with specific keyword targeting in your ads, the effect is just, like you can imagine, just skyrockets, because you're both already indexing, so you're saving money on the ads, and Amazon favors you in the ads, and that's where the savings comes from. And then the ads also, it's just a self-perpetuating cycle of the ads feeding the SEO and the SEO feeding the ads. An example of this that I've done recently was with some fall wax melts with a client of mine. They're just like a small mom and pop shop, but they sell wickless candles and wax melts. And their title before was 6-pack soy blend, wickless candle, wax melt bars, and autumn scents. And then they list all of their scents that they've got. And I've highlighted in orange kind of if you think about it in like the high search keywords that they're ranking for before. And in green, we have the new high search volume keywords that we're ranking for now. So we went and changed it to fall mix wax melts, 6-pack USA made, wax cubes for wax melt warmer, and masculine autumn variety pack. So already there's way more that we're indexing for, and it's way more relevant. Wickless candle is like an example that you wouldn't mean to, but now you're trying to tell Amazon that you're a candle when we're not. And that can be really damaging. And then like, not only that, we're doing this we did this at the beginning of August, which is, people aren't quite thinking about fall yet in August, but when we turn into, September and November, our sales are only going to be even more perpetuated by the momentum that we've carried. And you can see this in the data. If we're looking at the search terms that we have, this is the search volume prior and current, and this is the impression shares prior and current. So this is before the change and after the change. And we can see that while the search volume for fall wax melts did increase by 83%, our impression share of that search term almost doubled from 0.45% to 0.7%, which is just really good growth. Our sales, I think, doubled over 30 days. So while it's like, okay, yeah, the search volume increased, we would have never ranked like all of these keywords we were not ranking for before, and now we have some search volume relevancy for them now. So it's been hugely successful for them. And so now I want to get into kind of the meat and potatoes of that process and how you can build your best title, and kind of how ZonGuru is really the best tool to continuously help you do that. So once you identify your high volume, high relevancy search term, that's where you want to start. And when you are looking through the search terms and you pick one that you want to rank for and you can't imagine yourself as the #1 result, you either need to find a new keyword or to change your product. Like if you keep going down that list and you're like, no, it's not quite right, like maybe, but not really. I don't think I could be the top of a green supplement because it doesn't say green supplement in front of my bottle. And you keep going down that list and there's just nothing that's super fitting to your product, you really might need a new product. That's how you build your product around Amazon. And once you find that though, put it at the front of your title, and then blend in the other high relevancy, high volume keywords that you find, kind of like I did with that candle example. And this is where ZonGuru comes in to really help, because they have their Z-score and that optimizes their relevancy and search volume at once to help you sort by that and see instantly which keywords are the best. And then they've been doing a lot of new stuff with Rufus AI that John will get into here soon too. So yeah, that's been really helpful and really the best way to focus on the SEO on your products. You want to go ahead, John?
Yeah, I just want to make sure you can hear me.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, James, that was super helpful. I think that little pie chart that you had and breaking down, where a lot of the juice comes from in terms of ranking on Amazon's algorithm is spot on. And how you manipulate title is critical to the business. And one other layer I'd put in there is finding those most relevant keywords and placing them for sure in your title. But another really good strategy is to broad match on as many of the most relevant terms as possible. So you're not overstuffing the title, but you're getting that broad match across, those key relevant terms. And that's kind of an easy thing to say, but it's quite hard to do. And I think that's where ZonGuru can also help, is when we, create title baselines using our AI intelligence. That's one of the ways that we prompted, is to hey, broad match across these, and you'll be surprised how many you can actually broad match for outside of the specific exact matches that you do, and that gives a lot of juice to the algorithm. So that's a trick. I'll show you that when I get into it in a few, but I'd layer that in as a thing to highlight.
Sweet. Sounds
awesome. Yeah, super cool. A couple of other things I just want to address before I jump in here. Seasonal terms and what you talked about there is really important. And I think the thing I want to, hone in on there is not to rely on just what the seasonal terms were last year. You've got to look at actually what's happening right now in the current season we're going into, right? And you had a great point there where you're like, hey, green juice or whatever that was really high in terms of search volume, but it's dropped. And there's other products, other ways that people are searching for that product that are starting to pop up. And I think that's really important to make sure you're pulling the latest, greatest list when you go into the season. Yeah. ZonGuru's Keywords on Fire, we do that with, we use a lot of brand analytics, search query performance data, etc. So we're getting our goal is to get you the most relevant current terms, going into the season. So, a really good point there to highlight. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So hey, everyone here, if you have questions, please put them in there, or we'll collect them. We'll get to them later, but feel free to ask questions as we go. I've got it up on the screen here. I'm John, the co-founder, CEO of ZonGuru. We have about 18 different tools to help you as a brand or as an agency to scale brands on Amazon. So, everything from research, market intelligence, all the way through to profitability analysis, reports, etc. We have it in ZonGuru. And our flagship products are around keyword intelligence and listing optimization. We've had a lot of firsts in the space there, everything from coining contextual SEO, understanding competitor strengths versus your listings, all the way through to being the first to launch a ChatGPT integration in the space. We did it in January of 2023, just when ChatGPT was launched, and now through to kind of the world's first Rufus optimization for North American brands. If you don't know what Rufus is, we'll get into that in a second, but that's who we are, and we certainly can help you as a brand or as an agency. And Q4 is critical because there's a lot of changes happening to Amazon's algorithm, Rufus being a big part of it, which we'll talk about, but other requirements, enforcement from Amazon around emojis and bullets and a few other things. So this is the time to get your listings in line with what Amazon is looking for, and importantly, optimized, right? So the specific thing I want to talk about today is the Rufus part of it. If you don't know what the Rufus, what Rufus means is essentially Amazon has integrated an AI shopping assistant into your experience as a customer. So, everyone here listening today, you're starting to change the way that you research for products or anything, right? Whether it's on Amazon or on Google, how we engage with ChatGPT or the various platforms that are out there right now, is we start to ask questions and give it prompts and relevance around that, and then expect some pretty concise answers coming back, right? And so Amazon is recognizing that as a consumer behavior change, and that's why they've launched Rufus, right? Which is the shopping experience where you can ask questions and you can get answers. So instead of being really specific, like, hey, I want blackout curtains and return it, you can start to ask questions like, hey, what are the most important things looking for in blackout curtains? And you'll get, it'll highlight all the things. What are products that you recommend based on this? Or, hey, I need better sleep. What are some products you recommend? Which could be blackout curtains and a few other things, right? So the ability to ask more broad questions and then get specific product and thoughts back from Amazon's Rufus, you'll start to get product ideas that you might not have thought of yet. And that's the critical difference. And from a seller perspective, how do you optimize that? How do you understand what is Rufus looking for, and how do you prompt it to make sure that you're telling it that you have those type of qualities in your product? So there's certainly more things that you need to look for, and we've done a lot of work around optimizing for that. So the word that we're coming up with is that we've always been, when we optimize our content, we're optimizing for the A9 algorithm for sure. We need to do that, and we're optimizing for a mobile first type of approach where a lot of customers are searching on mobile, and we're now moving that and shifting to what we're coining kind of AI first optimization. So AI first means how are customers engaging with AI, how do you optimize for that, but also understanding what is the AI looking for and how do you optimize for that and connect those two pieces. So it's a pretty critical part of optimization, right? This was a little video, I can share it later. It looks like it won't, I don't think it's going to play, which is fine. But basically this was just to show you, like, hey, how do you engage with Rufus? The important point to get across here is that it's not like you've always traditionally seen on Amazon, where you type in a keyword, you see a bunch of search results, and then you select the one that you want to look at, and you look at it, and then you convert. Now you've got a little question that pops up. You can ask it a question, and there's a whole engagement with it, with a chat that you can go back and forth on, get some recommendations before you go through to an actual product listing, and then you convert. So there's a slightly different path there. And Amazon's in its infancy in terms of launching that experience, but don't be dissuaded that if you engage with it right now, you might get some recommendations, but it's going to get better and better. And that's certainly going to be a big focus over the next while, because the whole world is moving to more of this engaging back and forth with an AI. And so you need to understand how that works for your brand. I think the important point to say in terms of how do you optimize for this is understanding all the different search intent and behaviors that are out there. James talked about it earlier. How do we understand all the different types of behavior, search intents that could be searched for, which could be relevant for your product, and then surface your product for that, right? So there's a lot out there. Keywords are still critical because they drive that, but understanding more broader behaviors are important. So for example, this is an example with blackout curtains. He has all the search intents that people might be searching for, like, hey, how do I improve sleep quality? How do I reduce my energy bills? How do I, what are some solutions that will reduce noise in my room, right? These are kind of search intents. Or benefits. Hey, I'm looking for things that block out lights to create a better sleeping environment, etc. So these are things that you could literally search for and see what the AI will come back with on Amazon site, and it's going to get smarter and smarter. And across all of these different questions or search intent behaviors or benefits, blackout curtains can come up across those, right? So you've got to start to understand the broader picture, and AI is very important in we can do all of that legwork. Hey, what for your type of product? What are all the search intents behaviors? What are the keywords, etc.? Collect all of that and then prompt your ChatGPT to write a listing that matches with what Rufus is looking for. So implementation, identifying those user intents, using technology to do that, optimize your listing for those prompts, because at the end of the day, how does Rufus get its knowledge base, right? It's getting it from, certainly, search volume, keywords, etc. Big, what you're getting out of brand analytics or, all of those tools is important. What are customers actually searching? But then they're getting a lot of the content from the actual listing, right? It's our job to make sure that we have the content in there, titles, bullets, etc. And then there's reviews, there's Q&A. All of these pieces are feeding into what Rufus can say, hey, these are the right kind of products that match the search intent and benefits behavior that are being searched for. It's going to get more and more advanced where it's going to start looking at you as a specific customer. What are your types of behaviors? What are your likes, dislikes? And it's going to get more and more relevant over time. But at a high level, those are things that it's looking for. So, making sure that you can prompt your listings so that it aligns with what Rufus is looking for is important. We've done a lot of testing on our side, and there's a strong correlation between, hey, if I prompt ChatGPT, what is actually coming up with in terms of benefits, behaviors, etc. And then also, if I prompt Rufus, what does it come up with recommendations? There's a very strong correlation between that. So this is just one example. If you want a free way of testing to see what could be coming up in your listing and how that could match with Rufus, go ahead and type in this prompt asking for 5 common benefits, characteristics, diverse search terms, non-standard search terms, relevant questions, and see what comes back. And then you can put that into your listing. And so, you can actually get this if you just go to zonguru.link/prime-prompt. Just take that down as a URL, and it'll just pop up with all those prompts that I just talked about, and then the results that you can get from free ChatGPT. So you can actually put your ASIN in there with those prompts and just see what comes back, and that'll give you a sense of like, hey, what are the kind of things that AI is looking for in listings, and then look at your listing and compare it, right? And if you see things that are missing in your benefits, your back-end search terms, your title, that could be improved based on what you're seeing in the result from ChatGPT, then go ahead and add those to your listings, because that's going to give you a better chance of appearing for the diverse ways that people can find your product. So that's kind of a nice, easy, free way to do it. The other way to do it is obviously with ZonGuru. And I just talked about some of the benefits we have there, but I'm going to jump over and give you guys a quick demo just to show you, hey, how do we actually optimize for it, for a listing and for Rufus. So I'll jump over and demo in a second. If you guys have questions, let me know. But we're seeing some incredible results with optimizing using our keywords and our listing optimization tool. Going back to when we created the AI part of our listing in January of 2023, we're seeing about an increase in average of 23% on revenue across all our customers that are using our listing optimizer tool on existing listings. and about a 37% increase in your optimization score over the top competitors. So the point there is you're getting an incredible baseline in literally under 1 minute that will give you this kind of result that you can then finesse and improve a little bit further and just make sure it aligns with your brand. You can manually improve those listings. But the point is to start with that as a baseline, because the baseline that's giving you is structured in the right way to exact match, broad match for the most relevant terms, structurally set up, highlighting benefits that Rufus is looking for, that customers are looking for. So your whole baseline is there that you can finesse a little bit, improve here and there, get better than your competitors. And that is your baseline where you can layer on, every other promotional activity you're doing on Amazon is critical going into Q4, right? So take advantage of that. Here's what Rufus looks for. So I'm going to show you this as an example, but this is, I just typed in what are the key criteria to consider when looking for an Instapot, right? Typical example. And you can see Rufus says, hey, no problem. Let me tell you more about it. Yeah, capacity, that's critical. The size, right? Cooking functions. There's different functions that they actually have now, multi-functions. Safety features. What are the safety features? Build quality. What is it made of? Stainless steel. What kind of accessories do you get with it? These are the kind of accessories. So I'm just highlighting what Rufus is literally returning as a live, search. So just remember that, because you're going to come back to it and I'll show you what the actual result is when we prompt a listing and what it's actually just bringing up, and we can do a live example of that as well. So let me share my screen here. James, you might have to help me just to make sure that I'm doing this in the right way.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me see. I'm going to share this one. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, so we're in ZonGuru right now. There's a whole bunch of tools you can check out. We have a different architectural structure for agencies versus brands, and also different services we can roll in. If you're a high-level brand, we can do some growth audits for you and just really identify your biggest opportunities. But these are the tools you can see. The Rufus optimization section here. This is the icon, right? And if I jump over, I can show you keywords. So I just ran a keyword session.
Sorry, froze up for a second, but you're good.
Okay, great. I can show you a keyword section here. This is Instapot. I just run a session on keywords. So back to what James was saying, like these are all the most relevant terms right now that are being searched for on Amazon. You can filter by non-branded, maybe even a little bit more relevant, right? So here's your really, really top important keywords that you would want to ensure that you have in your listings. From the ZG score is really important to look at. You have keyword, dollars, search volume, all the way through to PPC bid, brand analytics. You can kind of look in there and play with it yourselves. What I wanted to show you is like we have an SEO view. So across all your top competitors, you can see, who is very strong, and more importantly, if your brand is in here, if you're weak or strong. So there's a whole relevancy score around SEO strength, and then there's a keyword view, right? So you can see by keyword, here's all the top competitors, and you can see how everyone indexes. And I think the example that I picked out was this one right here, right? So if this is my brand, I can see across the keywords, I'm indexed well for some, but there's a lot of opportunity here where keywords are not well indexed, and I can improve it. So I just pretended, hey, this was my brand, and I kind of saved the view of keywords under the keyword section, relevant, non-branded. I saved that view, and then I just went into Listing Optimizer right here. You can see I'm in Listing Optimizer. I uploaded the keywords. I imported it from the keyword session, right? So I went down here, found that relevant list, imported my keywords. It's giving me the ZG score, the search volume, etc. And then I've uploaded a couple of competitor listings. These are the competitors, right? Instapot and this one over here. And then I've uploaded my own listing as well, right? So you can see right off the bat, just looking at it, the relevancy optimization score for these listings is around 14,000. Don't worry too much about what that number means, but the point is this one is the highest over this competitor right here, and my listing itself is actually lower. It's around 12,000, right? So I can see my title, my bullets, my back-end search terms, how everything is used in the listing, what's missing, right? You can see missing keywords down as I go. So there's a lot of ways to look at what needs to be added, how to improve the listing. And then I can also use AI to generate parts of the listing, redo sections if I want, or the whole listing, right? So in this case right here, I've run a Rufus listing. I just hit AI generate. I've added in a title, I'll call it Tilley, and I just put in a product description. I can choose my tone, I can negative match on keywords, and I just ran it in a minute, and this is what it returned, right? And you can see the score is better than all the competitors. And I think more importantly, just remembering back to what Rufus was looking for, we were talking about how, all the types of ways that the appliance can be used, versatile 7-in-1 appliance, right? It talks about capacity, right, which was important. It talks about the build quality, stainless steel. It talks about the feature sets, and it talks about the comprehensive types of accessories it has, plus a full description and back-end search terms. So all of those things that came back with Rufus was recommending, hey, build quality, etc. All of those features are highlighted in here, and that's just done as a baseline, right? So you can come in, you can improve it, you can write over it, and you can get even a better score. And once you're happy with it, you can publish it directly to Amazon through the API right here at the parent or child level, and you can move on to your next one. So it's giving you the great baseline, optimized for Rufus, for keywords, for the most relevant terms based on brand analytics, search query performance data, and an ability to even finesse it, yourself manually, and then you can publish it directly through the platform. So that's it. I can just run one for you guys to show you, hey, AI generate right now. I just put in some basics right here. I can hit AI generate. It's just generating on all the keywords. You can see it's gonna do that in 1 minute. It's running through right now. Okay, even less, 10 seconds. And I've got a baseline listing which is written for all of the things that Rufus is looking for. And actually, in this case, it came up even better. So 20,000 as an optimization score. The baseline is here. And you can finesse it further, you can update it, and then publish it, right? So that's how easy it is to get a listing with the right structure and match for getting the best use out of Amazon. You can publish it directly to Amazon and move on to the next listings. And you've just got a better way of surfacing for all of the different types of behaviors and intents that Amazon is looking for.
Yeah, it's really powerful to see how Rufus actually almost explains out Amazon's algorithm for you. And then you guys can automatically, I've been loving it as I've been using it, just extract exactly the search intents that Amazon's looking for.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
Yeah. And the power of the tool also comes in how you prompt it. So make sure when you use keywords on fire, you're adding the most relevant competitors, when you set up that session, because it'll be using the baseline of the competitors to then assess the actual niche that you're in, the type of keywords. Then it runs in all the other pieces of data to come up with the most relevant set. Make sure you filter it by non-branded relevant terms, save that list, and then use that as your baseline when you're optimizing your listings, right? Because if you get that piece wrong, you're not prompting the AI in the right way to ensure that you're getting the best results. So it is important to make sure that the inputs that you're putting in are critical, and we'll handle all the rest, right? So in terms of how you should structure the listing, etc.
Yeah. Those are the people that you want to be. You want to be at the top of the search. So using their data to extract why they're winning is really just essential. Yeah.
Hey, I got a question from Maria here. Yeah, good question. So that optimization, and I should have said this up front, it's actually coming out. We've done some optimizations, but the full launch outside of beta is coming out next week, Thursday or Friday. So you can go in right now and you can use our listing optimization tool, and you can test listings. Obviously, we've got an amazing platform, but the Rufus integration is coming out, I think, Monday or Tuesday next week. So you can jump in, you can sign up right now. You have a 7-day free trial. It'll be live within your trial, coming out early next week. So sign up now, or feel free to sign up in a couple of days. But that specific piece is coming out in a couple of days.
That is awesome. I'm definitely gonna be using that.
Yeah. In terms of from our side, just one other thing I wanted to highlight: if you want to get a free growth audit from us, these are for brands that qualify. We'll literally look at your current listings, show you the potential of what you should be ranking for on the organic profitable side, which obviously is Mayan's, USP as well, which is how do we get you more profitable sales? We can actually look at that for you, come up with some recommendations, look at where you're missing in your listings for Rufus optimization, and go from there. So, we can, obviously there's offers and stuff, so we can talk about that at the end, but there's a good discount for anyone here, and also the opportunity to sign up for that growth audits as well. Is there any
Awesome.
questions?
Thanks, guys. That was super insightful. We can take it to questions now. If you guys in the audience have any questions, please make sure to drop those into the Q&A box. And while those trickle in, we'll talk a bit more about our audit. So what is an Amazon advertising does? So basically what our team does is that they take a multifaceted approach in auditing your advertising to ensure that you are getting the most sales for your budget. What our team does is it provides you with a 20+ page report with recommended opportunities to reduce your budget while you maintain your same sales, or we've had people that have even 2x or 3x their sales within the same budget. So our team reviews everything from words to your ASINs to your ACOs, your TACOs, your campaign structures, everything that entails your advertising strategy, and we provide you with this 20+ page report. A huge thing here is obviously that we know that your privacy is of utmost importance to you, so rest assured that none of your data will remain stored with us. We just look at the data to provide you with this report, and we don't store anything at all. So if you want to claim your free ad audit, you can do that in the button that's on your screen right there, or you can also scan this little QR code that's here on your screen, and it will take you right to our audit landing page. So we have just a few questions here, guys. So I guess this one, I mean, you guys can take it, any of you or either of you, but a question here is, are there any specific photo styles or trends to consider for different seasons for our listings?
I would say definitely, but you kind of wanted to look at the competitors and see what is coming up. Do you have any insight on that, John?
Yeah, I mean, I think, a lot of the bigger seller strategies is to understand that your number one image that you have, it can vary from your actual product packaging, right? So, and you can put product packaging may vary, right? But most sellers nowadays will Photoshop their main packaging image with the white background, etc., to ensure that specific things are highlighted on the packaging, if the packaging is in the image or the product, to make it easier on the eye and call attention to that product, right? So, for example, I'm sure there's many examples, but in that green juice, examples, if you probably buy one of those products and you look at it versus the main image, there's going to be differences. They might have blown up the key benefits that are on there, simplified it so that it catches your eye. You can add seasonal messaging to that, right? Or you could add a tag if you wanted with the messaging on there, or some people put bows in there or whatever, so it stands out. But the point is, how do you catch people's eye? You could add like free seasonal, free holiday gift, right? As like a little like call out on your packaging or something like that, right? You're like, oh, what is that, right? So the point is that you can manipulate that main image, within reason, to call out attention to your product versus all the other competitors out there. So absolutely, I think diving into that in more detail, going into your season and how you could manipulate that to catch the eye and get the click, and then deliver on that in your listings is going to be critical.
Yeah, there's absolutely different styles too. Like even just something as simple as a granola bar, you're going to have the box or the actual bar itself and some variation of both, and you need to look at what is winning currently, which styles. So it's absolutely across different niches, and whether or not for the holidays, like you mentioned, John, you can add, tiny little differences that are still on the bottle. You cannot add like big changes on the white background, but you can blow up and exaggerate things on the bottle that will help.
Yeah.
Awesome. We have another question here. Are there any common mistakes sellers make when using Amazon Rufus? And I think you can take this one, John.
Are there any mistakes that sellers are making when using Amazon Rufus?
Yes.
From a seller side, I think the only common mistake is not accounting for it right now, right? So right now, and we've actually heard a lot of feedback from sellers going like, oh, the Rufus experience is not great, right? I personally have looked at Rufus in a lot of ways and a lot of testing and using it, and it is very good in a lot of ways. There's definitely areas that it needs to improve in terms of how it actually recommends products, but the point I would say is don't underestimate the focus that Amazon is going to put into Rufus and how customers are going to gravitate towards it, because we know across, how many of us right now, if you're researching for, a new monitor, are you searching on Google, or are you using ChatGPT, or using, other AI search platforms, right? And that's the way that search is going. So, we're even starting to see that now in Google, right? Everything is returning an AI type of searching result, right? So that's the way that's the future of how people are searching. So you've got to account for that and account for that journey and understand that it's different to the typical way that you search for a product on Amazon. So the big mistake there is not addressing it or actually looking into it and understanding how customers might be using it going to the future, because it's going to become a focus. It's here to stay for sure.
Thank you, John. Last question here is, how do I determine which products to focus on for scaling during the holidays?
I would say which ones are the most seasonal. First of all, it's kind of a very broad question, but like high sellers and seasonal opportunities are going to be that cross section that you're looking for. Do you have any other insights on that, John? That's kind of
the thing that we do, and this kind of goes to the growth audit that we look at, is we like to, seasonality is a critical piece of it, but across your portfolio, we like to kind of understand like, hey, across all the keywords that you're indexing for and the search volume and the revenue dollars that are generated from those keywords that people are searching for, how many of those are appearing in your within your buy box, not your buy box, I'm sorry, within the buyer zone, which is page 1, right? But then more importantly, what are the keywords that are sitting outside of the buy zone? So position 25 and beyond. And so when we do an analysis of your portfolio, we try and identify, hey, what is if you optimize certain products, which one's going to give you the biggest bang for your buck? Because you might have a product in your portfolio that is really well optimized for the keywords in the buy zone, and you're like, hey, you're doing pretty well with that product. But there might be a product there where it's like, this has massive potential, and actually most of the keywords that you index for are sitting outside of the buy zone. How do we target those keywords and move them into the buy zone and get you better organic sales? So that's kind of an approach that we look at, and part of the growth order is we analyze your portfolio and say, hey, yes, you want to focus across your whole portfolio, you want to look at seasonality, but these are actually the key child products that you should be focusing on, that are, if you can move those keywords, you're going to get much bigger sales and more profitable sales. And that's how we kind of look at it.
It's really about like kind of what you're speaking to. You might have a product that does sell really well in the season, but you've already maximized its SEO potential at 90%. And so putting another, a lot of effort into it, you're only going to lift it 5%. Whereas something that has a lot of opportunity, as you're saying, with being on the second page, and is only optimized up to 30%, and you can instantly get that up to 80. That's where you want to put your money.
100%.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. That was super insightful. If any of you guys in the audience have any other questions for either James or John or both of them, remember that you can contact them in that little box there. You have their emails. And you can also book an audit with either John and ZonGuru or James and us here at Mayan. So we hope you guys enjoyed this webinar. If you want to watch it again, you can definitely do that. You can click at the same link there that you use to sign up, and you can watch it on demand at any time. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, James.